To assemble the Lazy Susan cabinet, the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to tape some pieces together. Tape? What? I'll show you. Hold on one sec. It's not as bad as it sounds. So we are going to take this part here with this one, and we are going to glue these dowels together, and we're just going to use tape as the clamp. So instead of putting a big old wood clamp on there, you just use tape until they set up, in which case once they do, solid as a rock. Very important is this shorter stretcher here needs to have the edge banding on the front here. You do not want to have it like this, okay, with this big long section and then that here. This is the shorter section, which is the front opening of the Lazy Susan. So I'm going to take some glue and glue this guy together. So I'm putting glue in this hole all the way around the edges, so when it goes into the dowel, it gets glue on all different sides of it here. Like that. I'm going to take my mallet, knock that in like that. Glue rag, clean that off a bit, like that. And then I'm going to pull this tight and I'm going to put some tape on it and tape it together. So when you're taping this, you can just put pressure on it. You can even take the tape and pull it a little bit after one side's down. And it literally acts as a clamp. We'll let that guy dry up and assemble the rest of the cabinet. The Lazy Susan cabinet is more of a step-by-step assembly process. So I've got some dowels in one of my back pockets and some screws in the other. To get started, here's what we need to do. There are two turntable trays. This one here, the one I've got laid out, has got dowel holes on the ends of it all the way around. So that's how I know that this is my actual bottom turntable. This one has no holes on it. So that one acts as a shelf on the inside of the Lazy Susan. We'll get there. So I'm going to set that one aside and start with this guy here. Next thing I do is I find my back panel that goes on here. So this back panel goes here with this dowel holes over here on this side. All right, so these are two longer panels. These are the actual back panels, not the side panels. All right, and so we want to make sure that our tray is sitting like this with this, which will be the opening of the Lazy Susan over here, right like that. I've got this one here, and then this is the other one that's going to go here. Now both of these, they have the bracket over there. So this one should be on that side, that one over there. Now this panel is the first one to go on. This is the second one to go on, and then the side panels go on last. So I'm going to take my dowels for this one and go ahead and place those in here. There we go. Once I got my dowels here, I'm going to go ahead and put this one on like this. Now that that guy's on, I'm going to go ahead and put some screws on the back side of this just to keep it together. Now we are going to do the side panels. So I'll place my dowels in here. Once I have my dowels placed in there, put this side panel on like this. And we'll do the same on the other one over here. The backs and sides are in, partially screwed together. We still have to screw these down into the bottom all the way around, so we'll get that next. Now I'm going to grab this guy that we taped together a little while ago, and it's going to go right in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by putting that in, go to one side, put that in like that. There's still enough movement in this where I can move stuff around and get those dowels in. So move that guy over here, like that. Voila. And we're going to take a couple of screws and put one in each one of these stretchers right here. The Lazy Susan box is screwed together. Next thing is we are going to take the shelf pins and place the second turntable where we want it. I love this design in our cabinets. You can put that turntable wherever you want. So if you're going to put smaller items, you can have it way up high, and you can put big, deep pots and pans down below. You can make them even. You do whatever you want. And after it's built, you can still reach in there and actually lift that turntable later on and adjust the shelf pins and move it. So I'm going to go ahead and place the shelf pins, and then we'll set our shelf. I placed the shelf pins on the 5th hole down. Seemed like a good spot to me. After that, grab your next turntable shelf. You hold it right here by the turntable. Lower it right in. And it just drops down right on top of all of those shelf pins. Perfect. We're going to grab these hinges right here. We're going to remove these screws that come with it from the factory and use the ones provided. These ones are for a different setup than what we got, so we'll pull these ones out real quick. And then we're going to use this standard size 3/4 inch screw right here. And then these, we have to lift the door up a little bit when I put these in. Go here, get it started. And then let's just lift that door up just a little bit. Let's go in here. Go. And these ones. So be looking for that video on our YouTube channel or on our website that shows you how to adjust this door. Now we're just showing you how to assemble the cabinet. Once it's in, you're going to have to adjust it. So these screws also can come out. And I am going to install the door on this side because that's the side it's supposed to be installed. So I'm just lining my screws up here and putting the door on. So at this point the door is on, but it doesn't quite shut all the way. So I'm going to show you a preliminary adjustment. Again, look for the video on how to adjust this door. It's a lot of working parts that all need to be fine-tuned to make this cabinet flawless in how the door operates. So if you're having that issue, this adjustment right here will allow this door to open up just a little bit. It comes preset from DTC, which is an amazing hardware manufacturer. It comes preset all the way tight so that you can loosen it. And once you do that, your door will actually shut. So again, look for the adjustment video and you'll know how to do that. So now that we've got that working, I'm going to go ahead and put my bumpers on here. Down in this bottom corner, I always put them as tight out to there as possible. And I'm also going to put them on this door here on the inside corner, right like that. All right, so now it shuts. So using the very small screws, these are like 1/2 inch screws that came with this cabinet. We're going to install these plates and these guys here. Make sure to use the small screw. If you use the big one, you're probably going to blow a hole in your door. These ones work great though. So the magnets need to be installed sticking out of the cabinet about 1/8 of an inch. So keep in mind you have your bumpers on here that are sticking out a little more than 1/8 of an inch. So if this is sticking out 1/8 of an inch, and then the plate goes on the door, you end up with the same thickness as the bumpers. Now mind you, this elongated hole in these allows you to adjust those in and out. So just start off by eyeballing 1/8 of an inch or use a piece of our cardboard from our box to put it on there. It's kind of hard on camera to show you how to put these on. I'll do my best. So I'm just going to hold them about 2 inches up from the bottom. Go about the same here, 2 inches. So the next thing we're going to do is when I shut this door, I need to see where my magnets are here and here. And I'm going to match that, and then I'm going to come off the inside of my door 3/4 of an inch and put my plate to match it. So I'm going to grab my tape measure, come in 3/4 of an inch, put my plate right there, and screw that to the door. And we're good to go. On here I'm using a piece of blue tape so I can just line these up perfectly. That way I don't have to mark on my cabinets. And I know exactly where that plate goes. And then we're going to come in 3/4 of an inch. Just there. You can go a little over 3/4 of an inch if you want, just to make sure that plate doesn't hit the face of the cabinet. And these will go on there, and we're done. And now the cabinet shuts. And click shut perfectly. Again, look for my how to adjust these doors. It'll be for lazy Susans and easy reach corners.